Hi, welcome to another episode of Determining the Mindset. I've actually been paused for this YouTube channel for a little bit of time due to me going through pregnancy and having a baby. So good news is I've overcame that. And then now that I had a baby, I have a little bit more time. So today I'm so happy to have Carey Adams with us. And she is going to talk to us about her amazing online business and how to run a great online business with RunningMoms. So Carey, can you tell us a little bit more about yourself?
Sure. Well, first of all, congratulations on your baby.
Thank you.
It's interesting that you feel like you have more time now.
Yes, in a way, when she's asleep, because she's still just a baby. So, and luckily my husband is still off work, so he is able to help. Yeah.
Totally. They sleep a lot at the beginning. So I'm Carey. I'm just pulling something up here so I can read it off. I'm Carey. I'm a physiotherapist from Canada, and I have 2 kids as well. They're turning 6 and 8 right away. And after I had kids, actually, I couldn't go back to work. I was exhausted. I was burnt out. I was giving to these children, and I really wanted to be home with them. But as a career woman who'd pushed through university degrees, got top grades, identified as an academic, as a therapist, as a career woman, it was really difficult. So I had to switch. So I took my skills. I learned how to create a program, a signature program out of my online skills. And it over time has morphed into a membership site called RunningMoms, where I train. So I'm just going to read it because I always mess up what I do so many things in a membership site, but essentially it's an online health and run club helping women get fit, burn fat, and run fast without dieting or injury. And as a physio, I've really taken my skills of good form and quality training and healthy habits and movement, and my experience as a mom who went through trying to get back to running on top of trying to take care of these babies. And I had all these pelvic floor issues and all this recti stuff, and I didn't know about it. And I thought, if I don't know about this, as a physiotherapist, nobody knows about this stuff. And runners are getting injured. They're wreaking havoc on their hormones. They're struggling because as women growing up in the time that we have grown up, we've been pushed and encouraged to be equal and to get degrees and educations. And then we have these babies and we're being pulled to them, but we're also being pulled to these careers. So I was able to take almost the best of both worlds and combine that, be home with my babies, and create a business and a life that I truly, truly love, and allows me the freedom to be home with my family.
Wow, that's really good. And I think just starting to being a mom, I can totally see how it's such a struggle to be being in the career and also a mom. It's like you're pulling yourself into different worlds, and you can't even focus whether going to work or being 100% with your child, So I think just trying to learn how to start this online business is awesome, and we want to learn more from you, and knowing that in the beginning your journey must be really difficult. So how did you start off in the beginning, and were there any difficulties trying to build this up?
Lots. It has been such an insane journey. And I've been at this for probably 3 or 4 years now since I started. And it's funny, I started as a hobby. I was a runner and I wanted to go out and run. And so I had my baby in a stroller and we'd go out and run, and I'd meet a few women and no one would ever show up. Oh. Everyone always wanted to come, but babies were up, people weren't sleeping, husbands weren't home, babies were crying. We just couldn't meet up live. So it morphed into, well, let's do some stuff online. And then it morphed into, well, let's put training programs online, to why don't I actually put up really good training programs since I know what I'm doing. And then it became, I learned about all the pelvic floor and all this other stuff. I'm like, oh, well, I need to create a program to teach that. And so I actually had like a nervous mental breakdown at some point, because it was just a hobby. It was just for fun is where it began. It had no intention of it being like the direction of my professional career. Mm-hmm. And I went and I hired a personal coach, like a life coach. Mm-hmm. And we sat down and did all these things. And he said, what lights you up is when you talk about your running group, you need to make that a business. And so we were working on like gratitude practice and manifestations and mantras and all this personal development stuff. Mm-hmm. And I believe that led me to discovering my future business coach, who taught me how to take my professional wellness skills, my professional physiotherapy skills, and create programs online and learn how to market and sell them. And so I took her course. Mm-hmm. I learned the basics of creating a course. And from there it just morphed. And I used to sell 3-month programs, but then it would end and people would be really upset. And the thing about health is that it never ends. It's a journey, and it ebbs and flows, and people really love the community and the support. And then I ended up just doing it's all morphed naturally, and I just listened to what my people needed. I really built up a solid community of like-minded people, and I listened to what they needed. And so I've just created I've had runners with me the entire time for almost going on 4 years now. We're basically raising our children together across the globe, getting strong, going back to work together, watching our kids go to school together. So also really dialing in health and wellness as we're I always say, as we're balancing our training with life, careers, and the chaos of motherhood, because that takes constant energy, focus, mindfulness. And I tell them I'm your coach. And it's funny, as a physio, I always felt more like a coach than never really identified in a practice. I couldn't give people all of me in a practice. This business that I've created, I give people all of me. I give them everything they need. And I tell them I communicate with my people every single day. I go live once a week, maybe twice, depending what the group needs. So I say, I am your health conscious, right? When you are feeling bad about yourself, when you want to use food to control your emotions, when you are beating yourself up with that negative self-talk and all this stuff, I'm here for you. Hear my voice. And so it's become this health coaching, wellness coaching practice, like nothing I've ever experienced or seen before. And I truly believe this is the way health needs to go. And as a physiotherapist in the clinic or even in the hospital, I couldn't even affect people this way, this impactful way, on such a holistic level. Mm-hmm. And that to me is really, really special. And it allows me to be me, which is really, really neat. Mm-hmm. Yeah. And I'm getting a lot of interest lately. I've always said, kind of hid under the radar for a long time because, I don't know, colleagues have been really tough on me. It's been a real challenge, saying you can't do this online. And I said, well, I really love to, and it's really serving people. It's really helping people, and we have the technology. Yeah. Why can't we use it? Let's use it. Mm-hmm. And I often said, people, I will either tell me this is amazing or you're completely crazy. But I believe that this is where health is going. We have obesity epidemics, anxiety epidemics, cancer epidemics. I don't want to fix people. Mm-hmm. The healthcare system can't afford to fix people. We have to promote health and get them taking care of themselves. My runners don't get injured, and when they do, they can take care of themselves. Mm-hmm. And they're creating sustainable life habits of health and wellness that they're owning, they're understanding, they're practicing every day day after day, week after week, month after month, year after year, and they're passing that down to their family. That, in my mind, is impacting generations. You know, like I have a small, like I don't have a big community, but I have a mighty community doing amazing things that I'm really, really proud of.
That's good. So. You just need to impact small, and then the small amount of people will influence the people around them, and then it will change probably an entire world. Who knows?
Yeah, I mean, if we had more people doing stuff like this in their little niche, and their, you know, in the hospital I used to work, and you couldn't get anything done because, I mean, people were so sick, and you were just like patching them up and sending them back off, and they'd be back next week. You weren't really solving anything. And I always just felt so defeated. I'm like, what is my real role here? Like, I love working with patients, but I couldn't, as a physio, my heart and soul has always been in wellness and in health and helping people restore, and not even just restore, but like soar, really, like really understand health. But that's not the place to do it when you already have, you know, heart disease and knee replacements, and you know, you're breaking your hip. Like, it's really difficult in that context to do the things that I like to do. So being able to impact, especially moms, impact them and teach them healthy habits, and in a really busy online space full of diets and gimmicks and shakes and all kinds of stuff that doesn't work is I hope impacting people for the long term. And it started all when I watched this Jamie Oliver video who talked about generations of people who don't know what real food is. And I just thought, oh my God, you know, like I need to help people reconnect to movement and real food and getting outside, right? And so yeah, my runners, you know, runners are really put on a pedestal of health as well. But often they're some of the most unhealthy people, especially moms who are running and running and running through a pelvic floor weakness, diastasis recti. They're wreaking havoc on their hormones. They're craving sugar. They're eating convenience foods. They're not sleeping. And those things I really felt strong that I could impact. And so my runners are listening, and I'm pulling them back. I'm slowing them down and tuning them into their bodies in a way that, you know, no free program is doing out there. And there's so many communities on Facebook and here and there, but they're full of like really bad advice. And the fitness community is still pushing. A lot of the fitness community is pushing, go harder, go home, and push through your injuries. And who cares if you're peeing when you run, just wear a pad. And like, these are real issues for women that are not okay to push through. They're actually issues that need to be highlighted and addressed, and training must be adapted so that they can live healthy, happy, hormonally balanced lives where their bodies are functioning in like their optimal state.
Mm-hmm. So how did you, because as a physical therapist, we don't learn those skills in school. So how did you like start like basically building that side, like the hormonal balances and the food? Because even as a therapist, we cannot even talk about nutritions because that's like not our scope. So how did you overcome that and like build that into the fitness, online fitness?
I tell people I'm not a nutritionist. I focus on healthy habits. I don't do one-on-one. I only do group. So I'm not giving one-on-one advice or programming in my online programs. I have disclaimers and waivers. But the truth is, like, we're allowed to promote wellness and health, and that's more than physical. So I don't really have a great answer for that. Sometimes I do like, I'm on the line there, but I focus on healthy habits, right? Everybody needs to be eating real food. What is real food? It's proteins, fats, and carbohydrates. Like, this is common stuff it's on the internet everywhere. So you just link to other things, and I have actually expert interviews that I have in my program as well. So it's not me giving the advice, it's the experts on hormones that I brought in. I've got a whole expert interview series, and they've given the advice as well. So I do that. I link with others who are the experts, and then I link to their blogs for learning within my program. So I don't have to have all the answers, but I do know the people who do and who are qualified for that. But like things like drinking water, people aren't drinking water. Things like sleeping. I don't need a degree to teach people that they need to sleep 7 to 9 hours a day. Stress management is a massive part of being a physiotherapist. You have to manage that stress. Your body's not going to heal. Cortisol levels, like this is stuff that we weren't taught in school, but you can easily learn it in all kinds of courses. And just, as a physio, you're trained to look through the research and find that's the beauty of who we are and why we've trained the way we have, is we can sift through the BS information from the real information. And I have a healthy habit checklist, and it's super simple. And that's all we talk about, like sleep, manage your stress, eat real food, move your body, get outside, right? Like these are the things we need. And those are the things that people aren't doing. And if they just stick to those healthy habits, which isn't rocket science. I always say, like, what I teach isn't rocket science. It's really just holding people's hand to take action with consistency over time that's going to make the difference. It's not what's on your plate and what portions it's in and like macro counting. I don't do any of that, There's so much that we can do. And I think as physios, we get really scared. I mean, if you want to get certified in nutrition, you can. And I started to, and I was like, there's no point in this. Like, I'm never going to teach all these intricate things. I don't think people need that. I think people need the basics, eat food. Like so many people don't even eat enough food because they're just eating processed foods. Like that's not rocket science.
That's true. That's true. So definitely going back to the basics. And what another question is, I know you have like video series for like techniques of running or like pelvic floor issues. So do you constantly update those videos so that like it's more like pertaining to the group of women that you're dealing with at that time?
Yeah, it's really funny. I often joke that I'm like the weirdest physio because I like don't like talking about exercise, but my programs are so well built and easy to follow that they all get strong and connect to their core as their base of training. So what I've got is I put together an 8-part series on good running form. It's 8 videos that they get access to when they join the membership, and they work through that video series on their own. I walk them head to toe, good posture for running, how to connect where everything should be, and like good form, especially containing to women and pelvic stuff. I have a 28-day getting started program, which is absolutely fantastic for anyone wanting to get up and running and reconnected to their core and pelvic floor again after babies. And again, the program just speaks for itself. Like it's 2 strength training workouts, which the focus is on quality over quantity. So and I made videos for these. They're nothing fancy. They're just YouTube videos. And I go through the workouts and I teach people good form and what to focus on and how to tune into their body, and how it's not about pushing as hard as you can and getting it done. It's about good form and connecting. There's 4, I call it my core fit exercise series. And so they get 4 of those sessions. So Monday is a HIIT workout. Tuesday is a move session, which is just a walk. Wednesday, this is level 1. Wednesday is the core series where we really work on breathing, posture, just core focused exercises for someone who's new to running, new to exercise, or who has just had a baby and needs to reconnect to their core. So that is a 4-week program. And when people follow it, they get amazing results. And then I have the Faster Stronger program for the runners who want to push faster, stronger. Same style of program, same core workout on Wednesday, because everybody needs core. If you don't focus on that core and continue to focus on that core after a baby, it just gets weak. And for me too, like I've been running 8 years after babies. I have to do my core work every week. Or when I get tired, the first thing to go is my pelvic floor. Like, it must be done every week. So Faster Stronger program, they get the same Monday, Wednesday, Friday workouts, because it's not, the workouts never get easier. These people get stronger. They build the bigger muscles, they can bend deeper, jump higher, and most runners aren't doing strength work, so they're amazing workouts. But then for that program, Tuesdays and Thursdays, they get speed training session. Again, really focused on quality, rating of perceived exertion. I don't give people paces or anything. I really teach them to tune in and understand good form is what sets their pace. And I teach them that there's different, we go from 20-second intervals up to 5-minute intervals, and how those feel different, and how to push your body and how to challenge it and pull it back and catch your breath. So those programs are absolutely phenomenal. And then I have I have like 5 or 6 different 5K programs, 10K programs, and half marathon programs, all complete with a weekly strength session, a weekly core session, and a weekly speed session as appropriate, because all runners are different. The Couch to 5K app creates so many injuries. I want my runners training strong and really focused on that core, really focused on good form and good quality. It's really important to me that people meet their bodies where they're at and train there instead of arbitrarily choosing a half marathon when they can't even run a 5K. So in addition to that, when they join the membership, they start with a goal setting session. So I have actually a 12-week coaching program. Like if you do a 12-week marathon training program at a clinic, every once a week you usually have like an info session in the clinic. I've kind of put together the same thing where there's a different topic every week, and it's all in the membership site so they can work through it on their own. But the first one is goal setting. We really work through like, what do you want? How do you want to feel? What are your goals? And I help them select the right program for them. So oftentimes I'll get people to start with a 28-day program to really like understand what strength building is, what building that core, building that base of fitness and why that's important. So I get them to do that first. And then from there, we choose their distance program. Or if they have a distance goal, they can just hop in and grab their distance program, their speed, their core, their strength sessions. And they get access to everything. So they can choose the program that seems to fit their current fitness level so that they're not getting injured on the way. So that's really amazing. I've also got like recipe guides in there. I link to a bunch of my favorite yoga videos and a couple of my favorite pelvic gurus who have done some YouTube videos. So I've kind of put together some stuff in there. And then I have interviews in there on hormone health, on everything, gut health, nutrition for weight loss and performance. Just like, it's like a podcast in there. You can just binge listen to everything. And like it's a really dynamic, full on, you get everything you need to become a fit, strong, fat burning, hormonally balanced running mom.
Wow, that's amazing. So when you invite those specialists that come in for your monthly or weekly Facebook meetings, do you invite them like a guest, or are you guys like partners in business, or
No, just like this, where I'll interview them and they're happy because, it helps them get their name out there. People in the wellness industry as well love to just help other people. So, and then I'll reciprocate and I'll do an interview for them and become their sort of guru, workout person, exercise person. So, it's really easy to find people to interview. And I also am in some really great, helpful, amazing holistic health groups who have been nothing but supportive and amazing. So I've got experts in everything at my fingertips, which is really amazing for my community because every other run group just talks about running, this strength and running. And, my programs are so well built that people get stronger when they follow them, but I have to get them to follow them. That's the hardest part, because you can have the best program in the world, but if you're not going to do it, it's not going to help. So it's all built in, and then my job is to help motivate and get them excited to keep their training up and make sure that training is the right program for them, and that they understand that running more and eating less is not the answer to weight loss. And it's been really challenging because as a physio, I want to talk about the form and the science, and I tried to talk about the pelvic floor and the leaking when you run, but people don't want to talk about that. That's not what signs them up. What gets them in my doors is hormone dysfunction and fat loss. And that's the reality of the online space. So those are the things I have to talk about. And those are the things my program will get you. And I'll teach you those things. And I brought the experts in to teach you that. But when you come in, you get the holistic package and very good high quality training programs, which I don't stress enough, but people don't care about that. Mm-hmm. Like it's just the way the world is, right? They come to you with an injury. It's a different ball game, but when they just want to run, it's different. Yeah.
Mm-hmm. Wow. That's very good. It's like, just changing the entire physical therapy industry and just thinking outside the box. And we always just do like a one-on-one, right? And then just now, like an online community, it's like a whole group, and it's hard to customize everything, but you can't, because you have to see what the whole group wants, and you design your community that way.
And the truth is, most people don't actually need one-on-one. They need group support. They feel more supported and motivated when they have that group support, as opposed to the one-on-one, because then they're left on their own in between. But when they wake up every morning and there's 10 faces smiling at them saying, hey, I got my workout done, they get up and get their workout done. It's the biggest struggle as a physiotherapist. Nobody does the homework, right? Yeah. My runners do the homework. Oh. They do the workouts, they do the stretches, they do the yoga, they do the nutrition, they do the sleep. They're working on all that stuff so they don't get injured and they get very, very strong.
Uh-huh. So how, I'm sure in the beginning, social media and asking everybody to get involved in the community, it probably takes some time for people to start posting things online and things like that. So how did you encourage people, and also how did you start organize your time so that you are able to do social media marketing?
That's a great question. So the interesting thing for me is that runners love to talk about running. Runners love to post photos of themselves running. They love sweaty selfies. They love posting. So engagement has never been difficult for me. Runners are a unique breed of people. So that's never been an issue, but social media is a constant issue. Sometimes I laugh. I'm like, I feel like I've created a complete monster of a business because I built it all on social media, right? Yeah. And I'm by myself, completely by myself. And I have 2 kids at home and a ton of stuff to do. And I'm a complete disorganized mess in my head. So that's been actually the biggest struggle. And I am not good at marketing. I am not good at writing. I am not good at sales. I am not good at writing blogs. Those things are very, very difficult. I'm very good at coaching and working with my people. Mm-hmm. So I'm always defaulting to coaching and working with my people. And then I'm scrambling with the marketing all the time. If you ever read my blogs, they're probably full of spelling errors. And I always laugh and tell people, I'm like, that's just my style. Okay. I don't have time to edit. You're lucky this even came out. I prefer to do talks like this and live videos because I don't have to worry about errors. And I'm way better at talking than I am at writing. But if you know much about SEO likes written content. So I do have to do a lot of written content. This is my goal every single week is to sit down. I need 4 days. I need 4 days of uninterrupted work time, which it's impossible for me with my family life. And I'm lucky I've got an hour right now. But I need 4 days. If I could just put all of my content together for a 3-month period, then I would just hit replay on that 3-month period and just be done with it. I'd be done. Yeah. That would be social media would be done. But I just can't, when I sit down at my computer and stare at my blank screen, I go completely blank and I can't push forward and plan. There's a lot that goes on behind the scenes with an online business because you do have to post regularly. I use Facebook and Instagram. Facebook mostly has been great for me. But I blog and I video blog and you have to plan launches and you have to plan lead magnets and opt-ins and you have to email your list consistently. It is intense
Yeah.
But there's ways to automate all that if you can get ahead. And I just never can get ahead being by myself. With the way, like, I'm also kind of scattered. I'm really good at coaching, and I love creating content. I love creating new workouts and new videos and live programs and like all that. I don't know if you know what lead magnets are, but lead magnets for anyone. This is a business podcast?
It's kind of both. It's like empowering and business. Yep.
Okay. So a lead magnet is how, like, you give a freebie away, something worth, like, it's valuable to people. You're going to teach them something really good. They're going to opt in. You're going to get their email, and then you're going to send them emails and share more of yourself and your tips and your strategies. And then eventually you invite them to join your program or buy whatever it is you have. And I love creating opt-ins. I just love it. I have like 8 5-day challenges and like ebooks and guides, and I could create them all day. They're so fun. They're just really quick wins for people. Like, I have a 5-day get fit, lean, and fast running program. I have a beginner 5-day program. I have a cut the sugar cravings program. I have a 5-day detox program for runners, and I've got all kinds of e-guides and 5-day workout challenge. And so I can get people in, but like, that stuff is all so much work, right? And then you have to follow up, and it's a lot of work. So I don't really have a good strategy. I work a lot right now.
Yeah, that's I totally understand, because I feel like being working in an online business is even more crazy than actually working in a business, like actual business. Yeah. So
we always laugh, like, I don't want to work 40 hours for someone else, but I'll work 80 for myself. But it allows me so much freedom. I wake up with my kids every day. I pick them up every day. I tuck them in every day. I have every weekend, every holiday, every summer off with my family. Yes, I get up early to work. I work late at night. My family, we live in Costa Rica because I've taken my practice online. We traveled around all summer in my business. Like, it's on automate enough that it can survive me sort of minimally working for a couple months without totally crashing and burning. But the potential is really big as well. And I also love it because I get to do exactly what I want to do, how I want to do it, when I want to do it. And I love that building this community of really like-minded, strong women is exactly where I want to be. I wouldn't trade it for anything.
That's great. That's great. So actually, like, what advice, like, since you've been doing this for so many years, and then you were a physio before, and then now you're still a physio, but you're just taking it online. So if you would have to give one good advice for somebody that wants to start an online business, what would that be?
I have a few tips. One is that you have to really niche down and really, like, create a community of people and start collecting emails really early. Simplicity is really important. I have tried so many things in my learning processes that I've created a lot of complexity, and now I'm stripping it all back and trying to keep it really simple. So simplicity is the best thing to do. Imperfect action. I always say, like, take imperfect action. If you don't try, you're never going to know. It's one of the things that has helped me over the years. And I mean, I could be a lot more organized. I could be all these things, but I don't know what I'm doing. I've taken courses, but I don't know what I'm doing. The only way for me to learn is to try. And so I try, and then I always review, just like I do with my runners, right? I review and reflect and refine. So I look at them, like, did it work? How many emails did I get? Did anyone buy the program? Great. Okay, well, let's tweak it and fix it and do it again. So if you're always trying to make things perfect, you're never going to put anything out there, and you're never going to try anything. I think those are some tips. I have so many. It's when you're first getting started. And I think also finding, like, someone you can learn from, online business from, and following that one person, not getting sucked into, like, all of the people, because all of the people will tell you all of their own unique, different ways, when none of those ways are right or wrong. You just need to find someone and follow them, and not be shiny shiny object syndrome, right? Trying everything. I've had to do that, like really I follow only like 2 people and that's all, right? And they're my trusted business sources. So I think that can be helpful.
Yeah. Wow. That's really good, like advice, for any beginners, so I think for me, since I'm just starting, as a new business owner, I'm kind of like everywhere. So finding, what I'm really passionate about and just sticking to that one thing.
Niching it down, like I even in runners, like in Running Moms, you think that is a niche, but there's like sub niches in there. And honestly, that's held me back because I'm like, is my niche the brand new running mom who just had a baby? The brand new runner who maybe has older kids, but has never run before? Is it the runner who wants to get faster and stronger? Is it the runner who wants to lose weight? Like there's like an umbrella of options within that niche. And right now, well, not right now, I've definitely narrowed it down at this point who I'm talking to. And I have different opt-ins for different niches and then tailored email sequences talking to that niche. But that's really important because if you're talking to everybody, every runner, you're talking to nobody because no one's going to really identify with that, whatever your niche may be. So it's really important to get to know who it is you want to serve, what their pain points are, and what you provide to solve those pain points. And just everything you create needs to be speaking to that one person. That's who you want to serve, your niche. That's something that held me back for a long time.
Wow. So how did you after you find your niche, how did you learn their language? Were you able to have that person in your mind, and then is that how you start knowing what they need?
It's funny. I think often your niche is you. You want to speak to you because you know that person. That's what happens so much. I see that in business. This is what I've been through, and now this is what worked for me, and now I'm going to help you solve that problem from my perspective and my professional, abilities. But I listened. I think listening is really key. I listened to what people were telling me. I asked questions. I do surveys. In my Facebook community, I have a free Facebook community. And when I ask them to join, I ask them, what is your biggest struggle to becoming healthy and fit after baby? And they tell me time, balance, no support. So they're telling me, I screenshot all of that. And so I can then, I do struggle with this. This is not easy for me. But then I try use those words and then put those out there. And that's where it's hard as a clinical professional. You want to talk about the science and the data and the research, but people don't care about that. They want to know that you care about them, that you understand their pain, and that you can solve it. So you have to then take these words and this knowledge you have of these people and use those words. So I talk about fat loss a lot. I talk about weight a lot. And for years that did not sit right with me. I don't want to be a weight loss coach. That's not really where I've come from, but that's what people want. And if they do my programs, that's what they're going to get, and that's where those are the people I can help. And we work on the mindset and the healthy habits. And we do it in a really professional way. My program has never changed from the day I built it. The program is exactly the same. But how I talk about it and how I market it and how I, email and write about it has completely changed. That was a massive mindset shift for me. Because people don't want to hear about my resume and how smart I am as a physiotherapist and all the research and data. They don't care. The only people who care about that are the other physios, but they're not buying my programs. They're not my niche, right? So you have to get over that ego and that expectation of what people are thinking of you. And hope that underneath that they can see where you're coming from, but most people don't get it. But I've had to come to real grips with that, but that's just the way it is, right?
Wow, that's really.
And you also have to do it within your values, and I do it in a way that I think is that is a way that resonates with me and resonates with my people. So I'm not doing it in an icky, salesy, gimmicky, diety way. I do it still from a professional voice, but also using their words in there. It's very tricky. This is what we are not taught at all about in school, especially in Canada, that's for sure. Because we're public up there. They don't teach you anything about business.
Yeah. That's really good. So one last question is, as a woman entrepreneurs, like, even though we're by ourselves a lot of times, how is your husband or like any other person like behind the scene that's supporting you as entrepreneurs and leaders, and how do you work together with them?
So when I joined my business coaching group, I met an amazing group of women who are super supportive. And I have 2 masterminds that I meet with. One woman we meet every Friday. We've been doing that for ages. So we're building our businesses together, sharing ideas, helping each other out, running ideas off of each other. Just before you called, I was testing out some of her stuff, like, because I'm completely alone. I do this completely alone. I live in the jungle in Costa Rica. As an entrepreneur, you think different. You function different. You see the world different. Your brain doesn't shut off. You don't go 9 to 5 to work and then you go home like it's just always on. So I do at this point like struggle a little bit in social situations. And I think a lot of entrepreneurs will identify with that. But I have another group. There's a group of 4 of us that get together every 2 weeks, and we kind of share our wins, our challenges, our struggles. Then we have more people that help give us ideas, because you can get so lost in your brain. So you need to find those communities. It's one of the reasons to sign up for courses online, because you get to meet these like-minded people who you can talk with about this stuff because they get it, right? Like, it's funny, when I've lived out here for a couple of years now, once in a while somebody will come and we'll get together, and I'll never met them in person, but we'll sit down for a drink and like we'll talk for like hours and hours and hours, like we've been best friends, because we're so like the same. We've been online together for so long. So those are my support networks. My husband is completely supportive. I'm so lucky that he's supported this crazy business of mine. Well, I'm at home we're raising the babies at home too. So I've been very lucky that way as well. He's like completely supportive, and he does computer tech, so he can help me with some of my tech issues and some of my tech problems, some that I create myself, because tech's so hard. Yeah. Oh God. But I have those supports in place, but a lot of it is me just grinding it out on my own, to be completely honest. I do all my own graphics, all my own copy, all my own editing. I'm at that point where I'm about ready to hire somebody, but I'm just not quite there yet. So I'm still on my own for now. Again, my goal, my dream is a low-cost membership site with a lot of members offering really great value to a massive community. And I want it to be affordable and an option for a lot of women, because I know the financial struggle of my niche. So, I mean, I have 150 members, but like my membership prices are really low, and I have my own overhead for my business costs. So I need to take the plunge and hire. Oh God, the first thing I want to hire is like a marketing manager, copywriter. Just schedule my stuff in, get it done, make me pretty graphics. But I do outsource some stuff. Like I have some stuff that I can outsource. There's a lot of great done for you things out there. So like, don't underestimate done for you programs, because the content is all the same. Like, you just don't want to rewrite all that same content. So there's like, you can buy challenges online and full-on programs that you just have to like use. And I have some of those, and they're guides. You can buy blogs and have your blogs written for you. Like these are like undercover secrets and tips of the trade, but you just edit them and make them yours, and they're copyright free.
Where do you find like those help? Yeah,
so I follow and use Kathleen Legrist. She's the wellness, Kathleen Legrist, anyways, Health Coach Solutions. She's got done for you programs. Rachel Feldman's are amazing done for you programs. I think those are the 2 that I really use. Lori Kennedy, who's my business coach.
Oh.
She has a blog service, a wellness blog service. So every month I get 4 blogs, and I have like so many blogs, and I can just sort of pick and tweak and use what I need. So those are the 3 that I use. There's also Wellpreneurial with Kylie Malcolm is a good one as well. She's got a subscription monthly service where you can, every month she gives you a ton of graphics and a 5-day challenge that you can run in your group. You can use that as a lead magnet. You can use it in your membership site. You can use it however you want. So there's lots of good stuff that way, and they all come copyright free. Tons of them. Really great.
Wow.
And again, people will say, well, other people are doing it. What if we're all doing the same thing? And the way we think, the way a lot of people who use these done-for-you programs is like, my market is completely different than your market. My people are completely different than your people. I have a few programs. My 28-day program, I have sold it to a few people to use. So I have holistic nutritionists who offer my 28-day program. They sell it because they're not my people. They're not going to sell my programs, but they use it as an opt-in for their programs and as a bonus for their programs. And they use my videos on there. So my workouts on there, my exercise guides on there, so there's all kinds of things like that you can do.
Oh, wow. That's pretty good. And I'm sure do you collaborate with other businesses also to help you market your online business?
Yep. My goal is to get on more podcasts. Guest blogging and podcasting is really, really good. I don't have an affiliate program. I can't figure the tech out for that right now. It's just not in my realm of priority. But that would be another step, is to put an affiliate program, but that's like a whole business of its own, because then you have to train them how to sell your program, how to share it, make sure they love it, make sure everything's ready. But podcasting and guest blog posting, but like I said, I don't do guest blog posting because my writing is not good enough. I'm not confident in it enough, but I could go on podcasts all day. So that's sort of my focus. I'm actually going to be starting a podcast soon. That's going to be my next thing. And then hopefully that goes really well. I got to figure out the tech of that though before I dive in.
Yeah. We will be looking forward to it.
Yeah. It's going to be like the Running Moms podcast. It's going to be the holistic, healthy run training podcast.
Yeah. That's awesome. So, now I want to just let other people know more about you. So where can they find you? Like your website or your Instagram, things like that.
So I'm at runningmoms.com is my website. My Instagram is runningmoms_physio. And I have a free community that you can join on Facebook. And it's let me see, it's Running Moms, 2 words, wellness and fitness community on Facebook. And on my website, you can grab one of my free 5-day programs.
Okay. Thank you so much, Carey. Yeah. And it's really nice talking to you and just learning so much about you and your business. And we will look forward to listening to your podcast that's coming out soon.
Oh, great. Thank you. Okay.